Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Woke Summit. Just want to say thank you and hope you enjoyed our previous segment with my colleague Jonathan Goodell as we learned about thriving beyond the pandemic, learning some best practices. It was a great session and hope you were also able to check our first session with James Parker, learning about managing your finances. We're going to be moving on to our next workshop, which is your product is lit, creating a memorable customer experience. Um, my name is Leslie Williams. By way of introduction, I am the Technology and Innovation Manager with the Chicago Urban League's Center of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And again, we just want to welcome you to the Woke Summit and hope you've been enjoying the summit so far. I am thrilled and excited, I guess lit, to be here with you today. And I'm looking forward to learning along with you valuable information from our panelists who are joining us today. This afternoon, we have the pleasure of speaking with two successful entrepreneurs who are going to provide insight about their businesses and how they are able to create memorable experiences with their customers. Um, Firstly, I'd like to introduce Miss Diane McDonald. Just a little information about her. Miss McDonald is a small business owner of Remries, Blings, and Things, and also RBT Consulting. Um, RBT Consulting is her business that she runs to help individuals who want to start their own businesses or to help existing business owners by providing, one-on-one coaching and giving them ideas to help them thrive in their businesses. Diane is also a founding partner of Absolutely Anything Essential, owned by Miss Kenya Renee, and that is a certified minority woman-owned business. Um, RBT Consulting is the spirit of empowerment, where we pass on gifts of creating opportunities for women, men, and youth who are interested in starting their own business. So, to say the least, Ms. McDonald has been around the business environment for a while, and I'm happy that she's here to share some information with us on how she runs her own business and to engage with her customers in a wonderful way. The uniqueness of her brand is that, in addition to her products and vending and her accessory making, painting, gemstone classes, she also has coached over 500 businesses, from retail, salon owners, construction, event planners, bakers, etc. So she definitely has an extensive resume with working with various businesses. Next, I would like to also introduce Mr. Tres Pugh. Mr. Pugh is the founder and CEO of Sip and Savor Hospitality Group, a company that owns and runs high-end coffee houses in the Chicagoland area. You can basically walk into any one of his shops and you're going to likely see a familiar face. It's a common place for media personalities, entrepreneurs, elected officials to be coming to his establishment to be sipping coffee along with other individuals like retirees, college students, etc. Mr. Pugh is driven to make a difference with his coffee shops. Bringing the community together is at the forefront of his brand and his business ventures. He's committed to the youth, and with this focus, drive, and determination, the Sip and Savor brand is a daily testament to the idea that when you put good behind intentions, you will flourish. Mr. Pugh also has appeared on WBON and WBZ radio stations as a guest speaker on business roundtable segments. He's also been interviewed by many other media outlets and definitely shares insight in various ranges of starting a business and running a business. So to both of you, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to be a part of this panel discussion. And again, the topic that we're going to be talking about today is, again, my product is lit, creating a memorable customer experience. Before we jump into the questions from you guys, for you, the viewers on your panel that you're viewing this presentation, at the top right, there is a button that says Q&A. If throughout the presentation you have any questions that you would like to ask individuals, please go ahead and post them in the chat, and I will try to get to them at the end of our presentation. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so let's jump into the presentation. I'm going to start off, ladies first. So, Ms. McDonald,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about why you started your business and what drives you today.
Well, to be honest, I say my business was started by the grace of God, because after being laid off from a job for 12 years, it actually started out as a hobby. I am into accessories like most women. And lots of times when we as women, when we go into the stores, we buy earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and things like that. And sometimes when you buy the bracelets, it's like it's sold as it is. So it got to the point where once I got laid off from my job, I started making my own accessories because it was like I didn't have anything else to do. So that hobby went from posting a lot of my products on social media, people asking to buy my products, to me getting like business cards trying to sell these products that I didn't really know where it was going to lead me to on social media. So I just, at home, in the comfort of my home, my daughter, and a friend of mine, we just went to Michael's. We just started like buying like things that we didn't even, to be honest, we didn't even know what we were doing. So I just started making accessories. And then from there, it seemed like all of a sudden it just blew up by me posting these items that I made on social media.
Okay, great. So basically you just dived in, worked with something that, was a hobby, and then decided just to make it part of your business, right?
Correct. Because you know what? It was a lady. She was a stranger. I was at the Wendy's on 55th and Dan Ryan. I came in with a pair of earrings that I had on. And she said, "Ma'am, where did you get those earrings?" And I was like, "I made them." She was like, "Do you have a business card?" And, I'm not going to lie. I tell everybody the same story. I didn't know what entrepreneur was. I look at it as, sometimes some people say you're dumbfounded on certain things, but I didn't know what entrepreneur was. So when the lady was like, "How you not have no business cards, and you're, wearing your product?" And I didn't think of that. So that's when I discovered Vistaprint. This was back in 2000, I think 2011. I discovered Vistaprint. I was I went online to Google so many different companies, like, how can I get business cards done? So once I did that, I made up a little business card, I made up a little logo, and then from there I started, passing out cards, to people like, "Hey, it's some accessories made. I can make them to, to your liking, to fit your wrists, your ears, your necklaces, and things like that."
Okay, excellent. I like hearing stories like that where you got a little bit of inspiration, but you didn't know what you were doing, but you dived in, knew you had a good product, and you were willing to go through whatever it takes to start, promoting it. So, and marketing it. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Mr. Pugh, question to you. So tell us why you started your business and what drives you today.
Well, to be honest, I got duped into it. I had no intention of opening up a coffee house. Back in 2004, I was approached by two of my childhood buddies who wanted to open a coffee house. They knew I was into real estate, and I happened to have a property that was a commercial piece or mixed use, the one on 43rd. And, they wanted to rent it out. So I thought I was just going to be their landlord and get them the little hookup because we grew up together. Well, needless to say, they had ulterior motive. They needed capital and bricks. They had the know-how and the machinery. I had money because I was doing a lot of investing, plus I worked for the government, and I had the bricks. So they ended up duping me into being a partner, which really was the money guy to get all the other stuff that was needed to build out the special equipment and all that. And the rest is history. I kind of got a taste of what it's like to be in a coffee house and see what people do when they're in there. And we struggled at first, but sometimes things don't work out when you're in partnerships. You got to part your own ways. You have philosophical differences. So we did, but I kept the thought process that, hey, we were on to something. Maybe if I add a little twist to it and make it like someone's home, you know, put hardwood floors in there, some black art, have some music playing, make it real inviting. And then I came up with the tagline where coffee and community meet. And it kind of caught on. So from there, I came up with this thing I call the 5 C's. You know, it's where coffee and community meet, but we're based on crisp, clean, classy, consistent customer service. And that's what I modeled my business model after. And here it is 5 locations later, and I'm still doing something I thought I would never be involved in.
Wow, that's definitely an interesting story from both of you, how you ended up becoming successful entrepreneurs, taking different avenues. One started with a hobby, one was duped into it. And to see that, hey, you took those ideas, you built upon it, and you know, you didn't quit, and you're successful today. So kudos to both of you for working on those ideas and building them upon to get to where you're at today. Mr. Pugh, I want to stick with what you were saying. So going into my next question. So we know the term lit, right? Most of the young today, it's happening, it's popping is exciting, right? And you were talking about, you know, your 5 C's, the things you implemented at your business. So the question is, what makes your product or service fun and exciting?
Well, to me, I think it's that whole community piece. We try to get to the point where we know all our customers because it's community based. And what makes it fun is if you ever come into one of my locations, you're going to see people from all walks of the earth. You're going to see college students. You're going to see real estate investors. You're going to see educators. You're going to see politicians, entertainers. The interesting thing is when they come through that, everybody knows everybody. So when they come in, it's kind of a weird thing, but they come in and they walk down the line and people hug. When it was COVID, of course, they do the elbow thing. And they'll kind of catch up on what's going on. It's like a modern day Cheers without the libation. And the thing I think that makes it lit, as you said, makes it fun and inviting is everyone knows something about someone in there that can help them either get a job, get a babysitter, get a tutor, get a dog walker, some educational information, purchase a building, right in that incubator, as I call it. Because you could find everything right there in that coffee shop. And if you just ear hustle a little bit, you know, my nickname for my coffee houses is the Ear Hustle Cafe. So if you come in there and just keep your mouth shut and listen, you're going to hear something that's going to stimulate your intellect or your curiosity. And you just jump into the conversation. Now, people are really inviting. So more jobs have been created in there. People have wrote their dissertations in there. You've had people start their business in there. People have proposed to other people in there. So that's what makes it fun.
Oh, wow. Okay. So definitely it's all about the experience. People who visit your store, but patronage your store, definitely can find value because they can be connected or build a network while they're there, while getting their product or service. So definitely, I love the fact that you implement that community factor. Because at the end of the day, it's not all about your product, it's the people who you serve, right? And you're solving some type of problem, which is what most business do. It may not be something directly, but someone can come there and get information.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely like the fact that you're able to implement that at your locations.
Right.
Is that something that you try to implement in all of your businesses?
Pretty much. And it happened organically. When I first put everything together, I just wanted to be a meeting place. You know, even though we have a lot of diversity, I know when I first started, it was mostly African Americans and where I opened my coffee houses. And Black folk like to gather, whether it be church, a club, over somebody's house, playing cards. I figure if they can gather over a great cup of coffee from the motherland or tea, whatever they may prefer, and talk about stuff that's positive, to change the narrative. You know, most of us get together and talk about other people and all that negative stuff, or what I call the D's, derogatory, detrimental, depressing crap. When you come in there, I got a sign said positive attitudes only.
Nice.
So when you come in there, you want to talk about something you're doing that's positive. And then I call it SIP Nation. That's our family. Are you part of SIP Nation? Are you trying to change the narrative? We don't want to hear about all the carjackings and somebody doing drugs. Come in there and talk about your son that just graduated from high school or college. Talk about somebody that just bought a new house. Somebody just started a business. And it becomes contagious. You know, so that's one of the things we do. We call it the family of SIP Nation.
Nice. So you definitely try to create a positive environment in your locations, which is definitely, especially coming out of this pandemic, a lot of people have been suffering negativity. So it's good to know you can have an escape or a place that you can go to. You know, as I said in that song, Cheers, where everybody knows your name and you can feel,
It's free therapy. It's therapeutic. If you want to save some dollars instead of paying your therapist, come up in there. We got a bunch of people that think they know everything.
All right, thanks so much for sharing that insight. So over to you, Ms. McDonald. What makes your product or service fun and exciting?
Well, I say what makes my product fun and exciting is that we work with a lot of the youth from CPS. We do a lot of our classes either in person, we do them on Zoom, or I go to the actual organizations where the youth, even the adults as well, they're able to make their own products. Sometimes we have like seniors. We went to like some of the senior homes where sometimes they want to do arts and crafts as well. So with the youth, the seniors, and the regular adults, from time to time, that's therapeutic for a lot of people, where you're able, instead of going into the store, buying something that you actually know that doesn't fit. Like I noticed Trez, I saw his bracelets on his arms. I'm sure his is probably either personally made from someone, or he bought it off someone who, where it fit perfect. Then there's times where our products are made where customer may say, well, you know what, this doesn't, and mainly the men, they may say, this bracelet doesn't fit, Diane. Can you make it fit? I make sure that I make it to the point where I will remake it right there on the spot, in person, in the shop that's located on 35th and King Drive, that they're able to walk out of there with the product that they can fit. Because you don't want to buy something, it's just like you buy clothes. You're not going to buy a pair of pants that doesn't fit you. So I find it that more and more people are getting a lot of their accessories custom made because they want something to their liking and something that fits them.
Great. So catering or tailoring to their needs is something that you strive to do to create that grand experience. Okay, fantastic.
Correct.
Oh, great. So, I'm learning a lot here. I'm learning along with the viewers also. And one thing definitely from what both of you shared, it's kind of like the little details that customers recall or experience that makes, their experience with your product or service more memorable, right? Like, as you said, the community and just taking that extra step to be with them. But is there anything else that you guys do or implement to help create a memorable customer experience with your customers? Is there any other steps or things that you try to do on a daily basis to make sure your customers are taken care of?
Yes. So basically, not only with Rimrees, blings, and things, with the experience with some of the customers, I've had actual customers that come in when they take our classes. They actually may say, "Hey, Diane, I'm thinking about starting my own business doing the classes." So during those classes, them, we're sitting there talking about them starting their own business. Someone may say, "Hey, I want to start an accessory business," and some may say, "Hey, I want to start a baking business or a nail salon or a hair salon." So during those classes, we talk about small businesses, how they're able to start their own businesses, how Rimrees, blings, and things can assist you with RBT consulting. Because there's times where I actually help a lot of businesses start their own business thanks to the Urban League.
Okay. Mr. Pugh, and you want to share anything on that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I'm working on this muting and unmuting and trying to keep up with my pit bull so he don't run around here and start barking.
I got one, two threads. I put them on the other side of the gate.
Yeah, you gotta have two of the things I try to do. People talk about streams of revenue. I never use streams. I call it multiple rivers. And I said that because I use photographers in the neighborhood that can put the pictures up in the spot. So people that know him, oh, that's my son, oh, that's my cousin, the guy coming to see their own stuff. Artists, you know, Roger Carter is a big artist in Bronzeville, really all over. I got a lot of his pieces. Musicians, when I do music in the back on the patio, you know, I let people rent it out to practice their craft. Comedians, musicians, photographers, artists, anybody that's in the arts, culinary arts, when they want to do pop-ups, they cook food and all that. So not only does it add that community piece, it adds a piece that lets people know that they can get out their craft, they can do what they have to do without worrying about a lot of overhead. I'm eating all that cost. I got the mortgage, the gas, the light, the water, the heat. So I just, you know, I may tax them a little bit, nothing like what it would be normally. So that kind of adds a different flavor to it. In addition to that, I always try to, like Diane was saying, when people come in and ask something, you know, I never really had nobody tell me anything. I had to learn by the school of hard knocks. I took a lot of body blows in this coffee game. No, I'm serious. So when people come up and ask, I always try to tell them, you know, be very careful about, you know, and she probably hears this a lot too. When I grow up, I'm going to be like you. I said, well, this is all you really see. You don't see what I call the back office. So I try to share with them about the back office. When you got to deal with payroll, gas, light, water, insurance, taxes. I share with them permitting, paperwork, sales tax. This is what kills businesses. You see stuff that shine and look good and the product is good. But if you ain't got your finances in order, if you ain't got that admin in order, you will see a sticker on your door and you will be closed. So that's one of the things I add that people say, you know, man, they call it nuggets or jewels, the young ones, whatever they said. We give that for free. People pay for that. It's good when you could come into a business and somebody willing to share. And everybody ain't willing to share. And we got to understand that some people say, well, you got to learn the hard way, young blood, and all, you need to take this class. Or the fact that Diane mentioned that, and I'm cut from that same cloth. You want people to win. It makes you look good. It makes you feel good. So that's what helps in our community feel of the coffee house. You come in there, whether it be a politician, whether it be a civic activist, whoever it is, they're going to come in there and say something about something that done happened in that coffee house that done affected them, their kid, their cousin, their wife, somebody, because of who they done talked to or touched.
That's great. Just from hearing both your responses, you know, it's what I've gotten is like going above and beyond for people, extending yourself. It's kind of like a form of mentorship. And again, being transparent, especially into today's world, transparency is very important, and that you're sharing what happens behind the scenes. A lot of individuals want to start businesses and, you know, they see the fluff, but they don't know what you have to go and accomplish behind the scenes to get to where you're at. So definitely sharing that with people and knowing that they can get those words of wisdom or nuggets, as you said, is definitely something good that you can get from your business. And I'm sure that's why they appreciate and find it engaging compared to other places where, hey, I just want you to buy my product. I don't care anything else about you. They can get that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling along with getting the product and service that they're looking for. So thank you both for sharing those extra things that's needed to definitely create a warm experience and make your product and service great. Now, in regards to the businesses that you have, were there any other businesses that you encountered that kind of influenced or inspired you to kind of apply these principles towards making your products fun and engaging? Or are there businesses that you look to currently that say, hey, I want to emulate them and add my spin to it so that I can have the experience that they're having? I'll start with you, Diane.
Trying to think as far as other businesses, because lots of time I'm a researcher, so I do go online and I try to research certain things that from an age group standpoint. Like, you know, you have your young people that like certain things, you have your middle class people that like certain things, then you have your older class that like certain things. So mine was basically not looking at this business and that business. Mine was basically doing a lot of researching on the the demographic as far as the ages, because if I make something to my liking and someone had to tell me this, everybody don't like what I like. So I had to actually do the researching on what it is that the young people like and what my age group like and what the older people like. So I didn't really look at a certain particular business when it came down to who inspired me, as far as like my products and things like that. My inspiration was by doing my researching on social media.
Okay, great. And definitely you touched on a point. I teach a class called Tech Savvy here with the Urban League, and a lot of people, I try to explain to them, especially when it comes to marketing and talking about their product, is like they want to start with just their product in mind. They don't look at the audience they're trying to talk to. And I'm glad you shared that it's very important understanding your customer's journey, or understanding who you are and work kind of backwards, know who your audience is and what they like, and then you can develop a product that's appealing to them. So just basically you sharing that kind of, reemphasizes the importance of that. Mr. Pugh, is that something that you try to do in your business as well, trying to understand the people first before the product?
Yeah, it took a while to get to that point though. When I first started, like I said, I'd never really been in retail and all that. My background was operations. I was a postal manager before I became a federal agent. So it was interesting when you learn about people, because, I tried to please everyone when I first started. When I first opened up, people would come in, you don't have anything for vegetarians. You need to have this. And I went out, I purchased everything, and I lost tons of money, tons. So I had to step back. And I had business partners. They knew about coffee and everything, but they didn't understand the market. They didn't understand the demographics of where we at. I don't think they really understood that we were pioneering. We were like a destination. There was nothing else around us but empty lots and vacant buildings. There wasn't foot traffic, so it was kind of hard. The thing that saved us was I owned the building and I had a little capital put away where we can, weather the storm. So it took me a while to actually get to understand it, because I started speaking to people that was in the marketing field, people that was in public relations, people that understood websites. And they were saying, if you ever want to grow, you need to find out the demographics, what's going on. And it took a few years for me to understand that, because I was studying trying to work a job and try to be a business partner and deal with the aspects of the community. So what I did learn is come up with a business model that fits the need of the majority of the community. You're going to have some outliers. What I said, that people that want special stuff all the time. Well, that's not your target market. I'm just not that guy. That Paninis, I'm gonna give you a good example. People are like, man, you really ought to have sandwiches. This was before Margot and Ain't She Sweet came next door to me. I was the only game in town. I believe in a quick grab and go, a breakfast sandwich, whatever. You really ought to get paninis. And I explained to some of the customers that said I should do that. I said, you start getting paninis, you're gonna have to have lettuce, tomatoes. Then people gonna want Dijon mustard. Do you got mayo? You got ketchup. What about Tabasco? You got Louisiana. I'm being honest. I'm kind of facetious, but I'm telling you how we are. And before you know it, you stocking all this stuff, and all that stuff is perishable. They don't realize that you're paying for this stuff. So when I first did it, and I'll wrap it up here, when they came with the vegetarian joint, I went and got portobello mushrooms, chickpea, hummus. I lost all of that. The person that asked me to get it, I didn't even see him again. So what I do now, I try to get a good quality product in coffee, teas, select delectable pastries, a few breakfast sandwiches, and a plethora of teas, all kind of herbal teas. If that ain't your joint, you need to find somewhere else to go, because daddy ain't about to be doing paninis and cooking chicken and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I had to learn the hard way by losing a lot of money and talking to people in the industry. Because all money ain't good money. I probably could make a ton selling all kind of crap. But then I'm going to tell you what, it changes your customer base. And I got a certain customer base I want. I got a certain target market I want to appeal to.
Right.
So it'll stay classy. It'll stay neat. It'll stay clean. And most importantly, it'll stay safe.
Yeah, that's definitely something important in today's environment. And again, the takeaway I got from both of you is, again, understanding your audience, sticking with that audience. Don't try to overextend yourself without doing proper research, I should say, right? Learning from the experience that you had. But definitely, yes, I think knowing the people before the product will make sure that you're always delivering a great product to that audience. So definitely that's something that's important for entrepreneurs who are wanting to start your business, is that it's not always about the product. It's the people you're serving. Start with them first and then make sure that you're meeting their need. And definitely they will always continue to have a fun, exciting, or lit experience with that product or service. So moving on to, we're coming out of this pandemic. It's been a rough 15 months, right? And my question for both of you is, how did that impact your product or your services, and how did you maintain a good relationship per se with your customers or continue to delight them? Did you have to change strategies or pivot to doing things online or offline? Tell us a little bit about your experience and wowing your customers during this pandemic. I'll start with you, Diane.
Okay, so basically, we were shut down for like 6 months. Um, but I can say I'm very grateful and thankful because people continued to contact me because people was actually looking to shop. I continued to make products even though people weren't like buying like how they used to. But I continued to make the products, post those products on social media, using all avenues from Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, and people, they still wanted to buy. But at the same time, it still wasn't the same. So a lot of my products, I've been with Sassy Thrifters since 2000, I think 15. And I never thought of becoming a member because I'm like, okay, I do like a lot of outside events. I do a lot of events with Sassy Thrifters. So it wasn't important to me at the time to become a member. But then once the pandemic happened, it was very important for me to become a member of Sassy Thrifters, which is owned by Tamika Thompson. Because for the simple fact that it was like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm watching everybody do their lives, they're selling their products or they gently used items. I'm like, okay, I can start selling my products doing lives on social media. So working with, I signed up first to become a member because you have to pay to do the lives. So I became a member. I think it's like every quarter you get to do like a free live. And if you want to do any other lives outside of that, you have to pay, which is fine with me because with the amount that she charges, not a lot. So it's like, okay, let me sign up with them. Let me see if I can sell my products on Sassy Thrifters. And by Tamika having a large following, I was able to get a lot of customers from there. Not only doing Sassy Thrifters, I started doing more classes live with the schools, doing Zoom, because a lot of the schools, they weren't in as well. So what's my business partner, Kenya Renee, she reached out to a lot of different organizations, getting contracts for us, which was awesome. Because if it wasn't for her, getting those contracts for us, to be honest, I don't know where we would be, because they always look for things for kids to do after school. The kids, they can't go out, they can't play, they can't go to any type of organizations or anything like that. So doing Zoom and doing Sassy Thrifters Live was the main two things that helped me on social media to be able to sell my products and my services.
Okay, great. So you had to kind of pivot to doing things online. Most businesses were. And at the same time, you connected with another business that was kind of successful or was doing something successful online. So you leverage that partnership as well. So again, thinking outside of the box of like not only trying to fix your product or service, you connected with someone who was probably successful or had that customer base online and kind of was able to use that as well to bring success for your own business.
Correct.
Okay, great. Mr. Pugh, how about yourself? What steps or strategies did you have to implement to maintain the customer delight with your business?
Well, since my custom was mostly based on people meeting and gathering and all that, I took a major hit. Maybe 70% of my sales went away. But you still have that group, what we call the grab and go. Them construction workers that come in and grab something, educators or people that work at home. So I still had that. You couldn't stay inside the place. We were open only for grab and go. I mean, you come in there, you get it, you out. You can't sit down, you can't meet, you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I had to do is be creative and innovative. So what I started doing is doing these things called the Pugh Chronicles. I would go on social media and I would talk about what us business owners was going through, what we were dealing with, to let the general public know. I did it on Instagram and Facebook. I put a little bit on Twitter. And the response, I went from like 3,200 followers to like 8,900 followers in like less than a month. Because people was really interested in what are you guys doing? How are you surviving? And I had 3 locations at the time. And the thing was, he's going to have to close the location. There's no way he's going to be able to keep up. So what I did is start being, like I said, creative and innovative. I did a lot of them talks on social media, letting them know what was going on, how we was dealing with it, what we needed to do to stay sufficient and viable. I cut the hours down. I cut down on inventory. I called all my vendors and everything, letting them know. You know, I had a long relationship with all of them. Listen, I may not be able to pay 10 or 15 stacks each month. You may get 8, you may get 5. It was like, Trez, don't worry. Your relationship, you're going to bounce back. So that networking piece, being able to have the relationships help. And then it was people in different parts of the country and a few outside the country that was ordering like 5, 10 pounds of beans. You know, we're going to brew at the crib. Hey, can you ship us this? And I wasn't really ready because I don't have the e-commerce piece set up on my internet. So you know what I was doing. You do what you got to do to make it happen. I'll take them orders over the phone, over email, and I was running my butt to the post office and mailing that stuff off. And then the last thing, and I'll close with this, for the first responders and all the people that went through that, I was in the Marine Corps, so I know how it is to have to deal with, you know, people, how to deal with safety and health. I started a fund, and I didn't tell nobody. I put like $1,000 on one of my gift cards. And I told all my managers at 43rd, 47th, and 53rd, whenever you see someone come in smocks or scrubs, they don't pay for nothing. Just say, we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate you. So I guess the word got out, and I started getting these anonymous gifts. You know, money was coming in envelopes. You know, nobody's name on it. Just bless you. We love you. $500, $200, $25. That money was dumped into our account. It allowed me to pay my employees. It allowed me to keep the lights on instead of me keep pulling money out of my retirement before I retired. So that helped me get along, and that's that community piece again.
Right.
They didn't want to see me fail.
That's nice that you had help from people and probably other businesses out there that wanted to see you flourish. And it goes back to like casting your bread upon the waters. It will come back to you, right?
Man, it was something. It was really touching to see people do all that. You know?
Of course. And again, that's like also good stories to hear, you know, with all that's happening with the pandemic and stuff in the world. You know, it's good to see humanity and still see human experiences where people, as I said, want to see business thrive. We know businesses were really hit throughout all of this. But again, if we have the community and we all want to see each other win, you know, by helping your brother or your sister, definitely something will come back to you. So I'm glad that you were able to turn to social media, both of you doing lives. In regards to doing that, was there any kind of hesitation, or you guys are pretty open? Like a lot of business owners are like, okay, I'm very shy. I don't want to go onto these platforms. Do you think social media is something that all businesses have to implement, or you can do it on the side if you want to, or it's something imperative that you have to do to make sure your online customers are being delighted? Is that something that's needed? Let's start with you, Mr. Pugh.
I would say unless you're a trust fund, baby, or you got angel investors and you got a big marketing budget, it's crazy not to use it. It's free 99. That's the best out there. Free 99. So if you got something that you can reach thousands of people and they have friends that can reach thousands of people. The tentacles that could reach through social media is amazing.
Yes, it
A
is.
lot of your entertainers and all of them been founded off places like YouTube and all that. The right people see it. It's a very, very powerful tool. Now, don't get me wrong. I wish I had enough money where I could run commercials. I could be on radio spots, billboards, and the like.
Mhm.
But while I got that free 99 out there jumping, Daddy gonna be on there. Hey, I'm gonna be on there like this here. Hey, Phil, yeah, come by. You know, I see a dog. I'm rubbing the dog. You know, dude, I have no problem. Shameless plugs because it's free, and everybody want to see what's going on. So I use it for that. And plus, I pay for a platform that I do my rewards program on called Tap Mango. So I got a mobile app, all 4 of my locations, a new one in Madison. You can take virtual tours on there. I have geo fencing. So I pay for a lot of stuff too to be able to reach people. You get all their emails, their phone numbers. So if you come in there one day, Leslie just said, and we don't see you again for 15 days, I have an algorithm that's going to text you automatically. Hey, Leslie, what's up, dude? We miss you. Come on back in. Let me get you a coffee.
Right.
So I use whatever tools I can through networking, through technology to make things happen. We got to be creative and innovative.
Of course. And I mean, that brings tears to my eyes. Sorry, I'm here happy to hear that, being a tech guy, because that's something definitely I try to have our community take advantage of. As you said, that free 99, you can't get better than that.
That's the best price going.
The best price going. And yeah, technology is so important to automate things. And again, a lot of businesses during this pandemic had to pivot and start using these technologies. So I always recommend that clients or businesses have some kind of budget or portion to building that business. In the event something happens again, you can still offer your products and services and delight your customers with memorable experiences, just on a different platform. You have offline and online. So I'm definitely happy to hear that you were able to implement that and got desirable results. Ms. McDonald, how about you? How important was social media for you? And do you think other businesses definitely need to implement that? All right, it looks like probably her video is frozen.
Did it freeze? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, there's some technical difficulties. She'll probably have to jump back on, so I'll probably save that question for her. But I'll just continue back. We only have a few minutes left, right? And the next question I had was, as we kind of bring things to the end, are there any recommendations or any resources that you can provide to other entrepreneurs who definitely want to improve their customer experience or make their product more enjoyable?
I would say, we talking about someone that's already in business, trying to start a business, because it's different levels. But the one thing that would always hold true is do your due diligence, do your research, see if there's a need for what you're trying to do there. And if you're doing something, I don't care if it's selling hot dog, what makes your hot dog better than the next hot dog? Is it the taste? Is it the price? Is it the way your place look? Is it the way your employees treat them? Find some type of niche and make sure that differentiates you from everybody else.
Okay.
If you think you need $100,000, you're probably gonna need $175,000. I'm just saying, you can never have enough money to do whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it's a build out, inventory, budget, marketing, whatever it may be. That's the biggest thing that usually beats us over the head as entrepreneurs: time and money. Find a way to manage your time, find a way to surround yourself with people that have the skill set to do the things you need to do. That's going to help you. That's going to help you win, because you can't do it all. Trust on everything. Believe that. You need help. And be humble. Be able to understand that, you got to take constructive criticism, not only from your customers, your employee, but from, the people that's working for your marketing. Be transparent, be humble, be gracious. It'll help you in the long run.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for those recommendations. Hi, Ms. Diane. Yeah, I saw that you froze, so welcome back.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And in the tech world, these things happen, so that's fine. So I was asking before I got to the second question here, in regards to like social media, how important it is for like business to have that, you know, in their businesses, just from your own experience. Just wanted to get your feedback on that.
I say it's important because when I do my business coaching, I tell a lot of small businesses that in order for you to gain sales today, you have to learn how to utilize social media. Because for the simple fact, people are not opening up yellow pages anymore. People are not looking for menus anymore, like paper menus. People want to pick up their phones and utilize their phones and be able to utilize social media to be able to buy food, to buy coffee, to buy products, clothes, shoes, whatever it is, you name it. Even to buy a new computer, because some people are not even going into the stores. Usually you go into the stores and you say, okay, I want to check this computer out first. I want to check this phone out first. But things are so virtual now where if you go online and you see a phone, something, and it shows you exactly what it is that product does, people are not going into the stores anymore. Especially during the pandemic, people are utilizing social media to be able to utilize to buy products. So technology is very important for people to use for their business. I don't care what you're buying. If you're buying food,
I think we lost her again.
The gremlins got her again.
I'll finish. She said, even if you're buying food, they're going online.
Stop there. But hey, I think we definitely got the gist that, again, just like what you were sharing, that, you know, if all business owners who are viewing, whether you're starting or existing, implementing that kind of technology using social media, because there's an audience and customer base there as well. So it's definitely important that you have that kind of strategy and implement it along with your business. Are you back with us, Diane?
yes.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. We're at kind of like the tail end of the session here. Just have a couple more minutes. So hopefully for the last question, I'll pose it to you, Miss Diane. So is there any recommendations or resources or any, you know, words of encouragement that you want to provide to other entrepreneurs, whether they're starting or existing, that can help them improve their product experience and make it lit?
I can't say, I know Trez talked about earlier that he, as far as his business, he went from real estate to doing a coffee shop. So he's basically self-taught. I do recommend, especially like my background is retail. So I do recommend a lot of businesses, if they're able to, find some type of programs to take for those classes, especially on the financial side. Because my experience, I used to take a big bulk of my money and just go out and shop and buy products for my business. When, to be honest, a lot of the things that I was spending my money on was not necessary. So when I took the Urban League entrepreneurship program, I took their STEP program, I took their technology program, and then I also did the retail academy with the Chicago Chamber of Commerce. I say a lot of those programs do help you out, especially today, because for the simple fact that by a lot of businesses are being ran online now, where you have to do Zoom. I say it's good to take some type of classes. I'm self-taught with the jury, but at the same time, when I spoke earlier and said I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship, there's a lot of people out here who don't know anything about starting businesses. We start businesses with no experiences, and we end up losing out financially, by spending our personal, when, to be honest, it's not necessary. And then I also learned that there are some things that we pay for, like certain licenses and things like that, especially if you run into business from home. Some people may think they need certain licenses when you don't need certain licenses. So it's like, take those classes, because those classes will help you get a step further, being a little bit more of a successful business owner.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that information. All right, so we just have less than a minute left. So again, I just wanted to thank you both for taking the time to participate in our summit. I hope the viewers definitely got valuable information. I know I did. And again, I wish you nothing but continued success. Continue to win those customers over with your wonderful and unique experience with your businesses. And just for the follow-up on our summit, Woke Summit, uh, please hang around. We're going to be having our Woke Pitch competition coming up at 4 p.m. So we hope that you guys who are here will be around to hang out with that. And again, my name is Leslie Williams. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Pugh. Thank you, Ms. McDonald. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
All
Pleasure
right.
meeting you, Diane.